Hey, how are you?
Yay!
Welcome to
What's going on,
Dipito.
Melissa?
I'm doing fantastic for a Wednesday.
Hump day!
I was trying
Welcome
to
to the
make
Dip a Toe.
Dipito show. Just dip it a little low and slow. Dipito.
Hey, Lisa, how
Well,
you doing?
it's been a eventful week so far. Hey, Lisa. Very nice. We've got spaces going. We'll see how that goes for us. Um, I don't know if I don't see anybody in there, but
as,
we'll try and
as
see if
long
it
as
doesn't cause us any
I
issues
think
this time.
the entirely crypto solutions might show up.
No, we love
We'll see.
entirely crypto solutions. Lisa,
They're all right.
how did you find our Dip a Toe show? I'm curious. Did we met elsewhere? We appreciate you coming to the show. We love to see you in here, and I'm just always wondering where do people find us at? Um, yeah, it's been a kind of a crazy week so far for me. Um, we are Hey Susan Black, how are you? We're doing some remodeling in our basement, and a oh, Lisa did a bot with Simon. Very cool. Very
Yeah.
nice. From the crew. We love the Staple crew. If
Yes, we
those of
do.
you who are watching this back, if you can't find a better channel to follow when it comes to the crypto space, digital asset space, and calmness space than the Staple crew. Alan Staple and Brent and Elizabeth are just fantastic people, and they're very calm. And except for he was fired up in his last video. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
I was gonna say you just got to tell me Alan was on fire the other day. A rare moment.
Man. But so anyway, it's been a crazy week. So far we're halfway through. Um, we're doing some electrical work in the basement, and we're feeling victorious, Simon, because we've been looking at these nasty wires for a long time, and we're cleaning
Oh,
things up. We're running new
uh-huh.
lines, and we had run new outlets in the basement um 2 years ago, and we
That's
just were waiting.
standard. That
We were just
that's
waiting for the
that's actually standard for most guys out there. Longtime boyfriends, husbands, like that's standard. 2 years. I did
yeah
one thing. We'll get back to it 2 years later. We'll start phase two. 2 years after that is phase three, and hopefully by
yeah.
then we're just ready to move and give up on the project.
Well, when you're messing with electricity too, you need to be very careful.
Yeah.
So this will be this year, Christmas time come around, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We will no longer be using extension cords to plug in our things around the basement and for the festivities. So I'm super excited about that. And you know, there's always a part of you, just like when you're looking at dipping a toe into the crypto space and you're learning a little thing about a thing or two. You feel very victorious when you successfully complete a project. And so, hooking up new lines gives me the same feeling that it gave me when I signed up for my first wallet and downloaded it and understood what I needed to do to buy my first Bitcoin, you know?
Right.
So, pretty cool. Very cool.
Yes. Yeah. That's cool. Nothing like the feeling of accomplishment, especially on things like that. When you get excited in the on the onset, then you start going through it, and man, sometimes going through it, it's real hard, right? You find those,
Very.
things aren't just working out like you wanted to or how you saw it and all those things. But when you finally say no, I'm finishing this, I'm doing this, and then you get that end result that was pretty close to what you wanted. All right, so maybe one of the outlet panels is a little bit crooked. You're gonna be like, whatever. We're gonna put a chair behind, in front of that, anyways. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no, it's just-
No,
well,
that's
he told
cool.
me we have this whole shelf unit in that we put things, and he had already wired them, and he decided that he didn't do it exactly how he wanted to. So now we have to put trim around because yeah, it's a long story, but
That's
yeah,
that's standard. That's also standard construction.
yeah,
Hide something with beauty.
yes.
Yeah, yes, you hide with beauty. That's what you do. That's why interior decorators are very awesome because they can hide a lot of crap with some awesomeness.
What
It's totally
what have you
true.
been up to this week so far?
Oh man, I've been honestly, I've been connecting with a lot of people all across the globe, here in the great United States and up in Canada, as well as everywhere from Australia, Denmark again. Connecting with all these people that have bravely joined the Auto Crypto Investor beta testers program.
Nice.
Still bringing on a lot of people, but I finally had a breather to feel accomplished. And so I have a have a truck, actually SUV, and I really thought I had a rod going.
Oh,
No, yeah, oh yeah, but
you don't
it
want to throw
sounded
a rod. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no. But the problem where I wasn't sold, it was intermittent, like this noise that sounds like a rod when it goes da 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 da. It was just like da 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 da. And so it was like it was random. So I was like, I don't know, it could be a rod, maybe something came loose. I don't know. So, anyways, long story short, it turned out to be some two cylinders misfiring, and one of these spark plugs had a whole bunch of oil in it, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, that part was actually bad. I've never seen that before. I've heard about it. I was like, oh, well, this would be why you're not driving properly. So yeah, fix that. And once you know it, went for a drive today. When one goes out, so all the others. So, and I knew that was going to happen. I was just trying to see if the truck would drive. So, feeling accomplished there, my progression with the truck, but very happy to connect with all the auto crypto investor beta testers out there. Speaking of which, how come you haven't booked your appointment so we can set up the bot? I mean, I know you registered on the last episode, but dude,
In my defense, we are doing electrical here. But I actually, if you have time sometime this weekend, I know if you do, if you don't, it's fine.
we'll connect after the show. I figured I'd just tease you. That's all.
No, I appreciate you. What I need to do now is connect my Coinbase
API. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Got to connect the API. Yeah, yep. That should take about 20 minutes, and then I'll give you the tour of the I'll give you the lay of the land, and then you're off and running.
I have to say, so far I'm impressed with what I see. As far as the the website's very self-explanatory. I think it's clean.
Just want it simple.
Yeah.
The developer just wanted it like really just simple. Again, plug and play for anybody that's barely into crypto, or maybe they're into crypto and they don't have a lot of money, and maybe they just got Bitcoin, or maybe they just got XRP, but now they're seeing some of those benefits of being a little bit more exposed to other cryptocurrencies, but they just are like, I don't know how to trade. I don't even know where a good buying point is. It's just kind of like it's like, I don't know how to describe it. I'd say it's like you went from elementary school and now you're slowly seeing, oh, what's junior high like? What do you mean you have different teachers? What's that? I got the same person all day. What are you talking about? It's kind of that slow progression.
Talking to me now? What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or where you're at the oh, this was classic. This is what I totally relate to this actually. So where I grew up, my junior high school was right next door to the elementary school. Okay. So at recess, there would always be like at the junior high, the classes would let out, about mid time during recess, right? So that was how we knew we had half the recess left. But sometimes we'd all be over the chain link fence, like, oh, they're so cool. Look, oh my gosh. Oh, look at that girl. She's got like black and blonde hair. What is that? whoa, that's so cool, right? So that's what I kind of feel like this is. It's like, oh, what's trading? You did something cool there? Like how? Ooh, that looks scary. How'd you do
I
it? You know,
well, what popped into my head earlier was how awesome it is for the new folks coming in to have something like your friend made for the little guy to
yeah,
dip their toe into it. Because I'll tell you, if I would have done that when I first came in, several years ago, I think I would have benefited from it greatly,
sure,
just in the fact of, because you know me, I'm a cautious person. I'm very
yep,
cautious. I don't dive into things. I do dip the toe. I will dip a toe. Um,
both feet splashing
yeah,
around.
but I do like to be cautious about things, and this is something that I'm super excited to
Cool.
trial and see how it goes. And I think it's super cool for people that are just entering in the space, that or people that have been around like me for a while, to experience the bot trading when maybe we wouldn't have done that before, right? I'm
Absolutely,
no
absolutely.
trader. I'm no trader, so yeah, very excited. So I'm
Well,
gonna
cool.
book.
Well,
I'm gonna book an appointment.
well, we love,
Lisa,
of course, Melissa. We'd always love to have
dude.
you. But you're absolutely right, though. It's this thing that like I actually looked into getting into it, but the price tag was too much. And as
Yeah,
I learned more, as I learned more about it, I had to make more decisions based, to have the bot do certain things uh, for me or trading strategies. Right? This has that's already baked into the cake. It's a plug and play, and that's what I like. It's a thing that I understand enough about trading. Two parts. I know what a loss is, and I know what a loss of time is. And so if you have to sit here and you have the day trade, but when you notice that you're waiting for that, how's the market doing today? And you kind of make it that your routine, that's okay. But sometimes, man, you just recognize, dude, I spend an hour looking at the markets. I spend 2 hours looking at YouTube videos or learning and all that, which is do fantastic. Everybody here watching right now, love you very much. But sometimes you got to look within and go, dude, I am spending too much time at a screen. It's time for me to reconnect. And for myself, it's allowed me to do that. I'm like, oh, how's the bot doing? Everything is good. All right, cool. Yeah, I just had to look. Okay, I'm out of here. Bye. Whoo. And then see you later.
very
It's
cool.
good stuff.
Uh, for the 8 people that are watching, um, could I ask you to please like this video and share it out and subscribe to our channels and all that stuff? Simon and I do have a Dip a Toe. It's at Dip a Toe on YouTube. I think we have like 4 followers on there right now. But we're gonna
We're
slowly
winning.
but surely,
We're beating
we're winning,
algo.
every day. But
Absolutely.
we'd like to we'd like to build our audience on there as well. So please, if you would, that would be fantastic.
Yes.
So what else we got, Simon? There's quite a few things that I would like to talk about um tonight,
Well,
but I defer to you first.
I I actually got nothing. I've just seen the onslaught of social media,
Yeah.
and just how there's a uptick in I don't want to say aggressiveness. That's the wrong word, but we're starting to get a little high energy and becoming very, it's not like we're intentionally becoming confrontational, but I just see that. So when I see that, I kind of just walk away. And I, even if I'm trying to get like Alan Staple always talks about, getting that 40,000 foot view, right? Big picture, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, if I can't even look big picture for a little while or see what really is kind of going on, then I just, it's time to walk away. And that's kind of what's happened to me over the past week. But again, most of my time has been connecting with most of these people that are signed up for the Auto Crypto Investor trading bots. Lots of conversations, education, and all that good stuff. But you mentioned about our buddy Alan,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
all fired up, and it looks like I think uh Lisa was just saying he was venting, and
Yeah, ever really seen him vent. Maybe a
no,
couple.
this is good. This is the point that I'm trying to make. Like this, I think we're there, at least in my western part of the or my part of the Western Hemisphere. That just that vibration in anything just seems to be uptick. So everybody does need to vent. Even our wise friend Alan Stable has to vent too, because you can't hold on to that crap. Sometimes you just gotta let that ish go. And dip a toe.
Let's see. What
So
is
so
Elizabeth
tell me, like, oh
C says you just haven't been on long enough.
she's talking about our 4 subs over at the dip a toe.
We love
That's
you,
right.
Liz.
We
Thank you
talking
for
about we have been long enough. This is a 2-hour show.
uh
I mean,
oh,
we're only second to the crew on length of streams. I think we're only second to them.
dude, I am super
I love it.
excited. I don't know if you've committed yet, but I am. I am every day it gets a little bit stronger going to Vegas for the XRP Las Vegas and get to see the crew. I'm super excited for it, and I'd love for you to be able to come too. So
Still
hopefully,
working on it. Still
if
working.
you're,
I'm trying to make it happen with me and the wife.
yeah, I can't wait to
Yeah.
give your wife a hug. So
Yes, I'm trying to get the wife, and I mean, hold on a second. And trying to see if I can bring on the kid, because he's 21 now, so he can pretty much do all the
ooh,
adult stuff, right? So
forget
yeah. So, but but nobody really knows. So I'm like, okay, I can't say anything till we absolutely can pull the trigger. So I'm waiting
yeah,
on a certain country to
yeah.
just tell us how it is with a certain currency, and I'm locked and loaded. That it'll be like, I think, stop number 3 that I will do in that process. So I'm just waiting on that.
I'm super excited.
It's close.
Uh, Elizabeth, Elizabeth says, no, I mean about watching the aggression on social media. Yeah. Well, here's what I have realized. I actually Ryan told me I need to keep that longer when we're talking. So what I want to say is this about the social media thing. We all know that they use algorithms, right? They use
Absolutely.
algorithms for everything, whether you're searching out news, whether you're on social media, it doesn't matter. The more negative that you engage in, the more negative that's going to be in your feed. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
personally have a lot of really positive people that I associate myself with on um, X, and I'm a predominant X user. I'm on Facebook and stuff, but I don't use Facebook much, and I don't use Instagram, although I think it's a valuable tool. Um, but I do spend time on X, and that's where a lot of my people are. Right, there are so many great people on that platform, and if you search out the people that are being positive and you promote them, you will get more positive in your feed. And I always notice that in fact, I just went through and I unfollowed almost all of the political people that I was following before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with that, right? The left versus right and pitting us against each other. I'm just not down for that. The negative
Right.
people in the crypto space where they're XRP versus Bitcoin, or these guys are maxis and you're dumb and whatever. Unfollow. You're not being productive. This is our opportunity to make real good change and have a positive community and consciousness. And there are so many of us that are very positive. And so I really am trying. Not that I'm not going to point out things that I think are concerning, because you know, the other show that I do, if for those of you who don't know, Christy and I do a show called Beyond the Brink. And, you know, we do talk about global events that are pushing people to their limits and driving them to the brink of change. But that doesn't mean you need to focus entirely on the negative aspects. You recognize what it is. And so, like when Simon and I talk about FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and that sort of thing, we're letting you know that that's what's out there, but we don't want to focus on it really, right? I mean, that's how I feel about it. What do you think, Simon? The whole lot of them are.
That was so perfect timing. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Huh?
It is. It is. There's FUD. There's FOMO. It's anything to get us off tilt, and I think that's what I'm. You know, when I'm really
Yep.
trying to describe, I'm like, dude, it's amplified right now. This is like not a good time to continue like my normal check-ins that I usually do just to try to see what's going on out in the crypto space or other avenues of things. Right? It's actually it's like okay, it's time to go back to learning some things. Right? I actually always it seems like as of late I start to default to education, and the minute I start getting like
Yep.
that negativity kind of a feel and or just you know like this is my cup of tea, it's like you know what, I'm on this, like if I go to X right now, like tonight, I'm sure I'll go see what I missed, but I'm looking for nuggets of information, right? I'm aggregating social media just to see what somebody else sees. In truth, I am looking for knowledge, right? So sometimes it's better just to go back and um continue my learning of other topics that I enjoy, like the IBC, infinite banking concept, which I absolutely love. You know, re-examining my my plan, my exit strategies. You know, just kind of touch on that, and honestly, that gives me a refined view again. It refreshes,
Yeah.
or just like we've talked about on this channel. You know, going to your cold storage wallets and hey, you should do a send from your cold storage to somewhere else just to remember how to do it, you know,
Yeah.
because you might be in that situation where you need to and you've forgotten where everything is. And it's very easy to do that. We all do that. So I find myself it's a good time to go back and just go back to basics and just try to, you know, wash that off. It's actually been really good. But I've noticed that with a lot of people, you know, we're in the search for knowledge. That's what's great about crypto. I've learned so much, not just about crypto, um, through the crypto space, but life. All these missing like little pieces that I've been wondering about, or little pieces in my life that I just haven't quite fit together. And then I meet someone in the crypto space. I know them for like an hour, and boom, you know,
Yep.
I'm like, oh, I so needed you like 5 years ago. And you're like,
It is so,
dang.
that's like you've known each other forever, right?
Right.
That's how.
Yeah.
I will say this. So Simon, for those of you that don't know, I hope it's okay that I say this, Simon. Where we met, how we met. Is it okay?
Hold on. If you don't
Is
have
it
the written express consent from the NFL network and yeah, go right ahead. Tell it. It's America.
So several years ago, I came across a guy named Bitcoin Ben,
Whoop,
um,
whoop.
and I was drawn, and he was somebody that was talking about things that were important to me, and he was talking about Bitcoin, obviously, and I liked his personality, and he had a lot of great ideas and whatnot, and he was having a conference, and you could or you could do it online or you could go. And I remember at the time, it was like when I first was getting in, I had been in for a little while, but I had never gone to a conference. And I remember telling Ryan, I have to go because I have to feel the people.
Mhm.
I have to understand whether these people, like, I I'm a vibey person. I can feel if somebody is bad or good or whatever.
Yeah,
Generally, I mean,
my wife's got that 100%.
and so and he's like, I don't know, babe. I don't know if you know yeah, you don't know it. I said, I'll be fine. And so anyway, I went to feel the people, and my goodness, the people that went are, I mean, I met you, I met Alan, I met Christine, I met Christy, I met so many people by going there. And it was just such a wonderful experience. And so I want to encourage anybody that's listening, if they're interested in going and they have the means to go, because these are kind of expensive to go. But if you're going to treat yourself to a vacation, right, and you want to meet up with some people, you even if you're by yourself, you will not be by yourself long. Because there's something about all these people. I'm not, there's probably some scammers or whatever, but I just the people that are involved in the digital asset space and what it represents and what they want to happen are just such the greatest group of people I've ever met in my life. Just
Absolutely.
honestly, young
100%.
and old. You got young
Yep.
kids and old people. And that's the other thing I love about the space is that we're all different ages. I'm 29
I thought
and
you're 29 and a half. Shut up.
I'm 29 and a half. And I mean, I've
Well,
met people in their 50s and 60s. And
so
I've met little in
you
their
were just
40s.
as shocked that when you walked into that Bitcoin Ben event, you were just like, "Holy buckets! I'm at the kids' table again."
I was like, what? Yeah, seriously. I was surprised. I was surprised. And I was so encouraged and happy. Um, and how many people, and I've been to many other conferences since then. When I went to Bitcoin, I think I went to Bitcoin 2022. Um,
Yep.
the variety of folks that were there was amazing. I mean, people of all walks of life were there. And they
Absolutely.
were so fun and kind, and everybody's learning about things, and they're helpful. And so yeah, it was just it's just I encourage anybody, if you can. A lot of people talk about going to those meetups and whatnot in your
Do it.
neighborhood, or they have them. I haven't actually been to one here, which is kind of crazy. As much as I am into it, you would think that I would. I've gotten invited to
You know
several. It
what?
just didn't work out for me to go. I'm trying to do this
It's
and work and be a
no,
grandma, a mate.
it's so much easier to connect to people that aren't from your neighborhood because you've
Yeah,
been in your neighborhood like your whole dang life. It's like, you might be into crypto and that's good. You got that connection. And I mean, I happen to know a few folks and, most of the initial people that I host a meetup, they're from work. So like we
uh,
talk crypto all day, right? But just going to a meetup to meet other people there, it's like, I don't know what it is, but for me, going to a meetup in my area, it it does not compare.
yeah.
It just doesn't. Versus like, going somewhere else. And I think that's like probably honestly the big thing is connecting with people outside your normal range of operation.
Yeah.
Out, instead of in your backyard, you're going to somebody else's backyard. And that's what really connects. I mean, Alan, you got the Staple Crew, okay, and myself, right? So there's two individuals or groups of people that are on the West Coast. You're, in Michigan. I know a slew of people in the Midwest, a slew of people on the East Coast. I know some people down. Oh, I can almost say I know at least one person in a crypto with a crypto connection in at least almost every state. Almost. In fact, I should probably count one day to see how it is. But that's what it is. It's
But
kind of
about
like, this national community where a common interest is this, as opposed to going to your own backyard talking about crypto, and then all of a sudden what leaks in is all the garbage from your neighborhood, and you're just like, dude, I really don't want to talk all about that.
right.
I'm trying to elevate my life, and I will go to places where the same people are trying to do that with theirs in different means, because your own backyard, you default to um you default to your default. You pick up your old habits, right? You just it's
You know
weird.
what?
It's so weird.
The issue, and then I used to tell my, not just my kids, but other people that were struggling, because I kind of come from a struggling background. Um, People like to label others, and I used to always tell people that were struggling, um, you don't have to allow the label that someone else put on you to be what you are, right? And so a
Absolutely.
lot of times where we're in our own neighborhoods, people labeled us as a certain way, right? Pretty
Yep.
sure my neighbors here have labeled me, um, like when the whole politics thing came about, and then the COVID thing, and just all the controversy.
That's
Even
yeah.
even though I wasn't a very outspoken person about it, I think people know who I am and like kind of what I
Sure.
stand for. And so they kind of, I think, labeled me a certain way. And those that were friendly with me initially are like no longer talk to me anymore. And
Yeah,
I'm
see,
like,
and that's
I haven't
yeah.
I haven't changed. They labeled me, but
Right.
I said, hey, you're missing out because I'm still
But
the same person that you were drinking beers with in my living room, you know?
right.
Give you a ride, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still that same person. Yeah. Talk about
Yeah.
meeting good people
There-
at conferences. Oh, you did,
yeah.
Simon? You
I
picked her
did.
up?
Yeah.
Love-
Yeah. I totally swooped her up. Yeah. Yeah. I swooped her up because I got there a day early and she needed a ride. And I was like, dude, I came down here to meet my people, so I'm going to go pick one up at the airport. And I know at least I got a half hour just to get to know somebody and just try to make that connection for the conference and all that. And, there's another, yeah, that was great. That made me, that was
You know,
a good opportunity,
two,
so
two, 2 points, Susan.
you're
Do
welcome,
you
Susan.
do you remember you and I being the two like odd mans in the super secret after party at the conference? That was pretty fun. But what I did was I reached out to Christine um on Telegram, didn't even know her, and said, where are you staying? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you want to share a room? I like shared a room with a stranger.
Yeah,
But I
no,
talked to her forever, and I took that risk, and I did it.
see
But
now that's the crypto community. I've yet to really come across another well, up until that point, I didn't know about any communities or anything like any industry that was like that, right?
yeah,
That was, we just all had to get together. We wanted to be a part of it, and it was a combination of like-mindedness between us all. But it was crypto that really initially got us together to hang out together, to do things
yeah,
together, right? Or at least that's what we used, right? Cryptos was our bridge currency between relationships and connections, but there's another one that I have yet to experience that I have high hopes will probably be the same thing, and that would be the infinite banking concept community. I think that
ooh,
would be the same, yeah, because of what
people.
that can do for yourself and your family. Like it's aligned with that, right? And so, yeah, if there's ever like an IBC convention or something like that, I'll try to
We'll,
swing to that. Just to
we'll do
That'd be
it.
awesome.
We'll get was it JV or
Yeah, I
JB?
would talk to JV, my buddy JV. Yeah.
We'll
Yep.
get him.
Legacy Life, legacylife.com. Check them out.
We'll create our own.
Shameless plug.
But we just want to say, for those of you that are on the fence, or you're just starting to dip a toe, know that you are so welcome. Know that
Yep.
there are so many of us out here that want to help you. We don't want to scam. We're not trying to lead you down the bad path. We want to encourage you to learn as much as you can and ask your own questions and form your own opinions and go with your own gut instincts. And I mean, the greatest gift that you can give anyone else is the power to think for themselves, right? And that is so much it resonates with this community so much. And I have been friends with people or met people that I would not have, that probably wouldn't have given me the time of day in my own neighborhood, right? Um,
Exactly.
they just might not have. I'll talk to anybody. I
Right.
but not everybody is like that. And I notice that I'm meeting people that when I'm talking with them, I'm thinking, yeah, you would not have even talked to me if you would have met me in a different setting. So it's
And
super
that's
cool.
very true. And that's very
Yeah.
true. And that gets me totally back to the point I'm trying to make where it's good to go to a meetup in your own backyard. It's good to try to connect locally, right? Because in my opinion, that can be beneficial to you, of course, right? And depending on your local area. But it's the pilgrimage is what you're doing. You're kind of doing a pilgrimage, right? You're going to the motherland, or something like that, where it's like you came there with one, all of you came there with one general purpose, and that was cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Your second general purpose that you did know or did not know is the connections that are going to come from there. You're going to meet at least one person. You're going to exchange information, phone number, or email, or something, and that's how it starts. And it really goes from there. Like, okay, how awesome is this community? I started out a little place in Bernie, Texas, in 2021. I met a whole bunch of great people. Melissa, Stable Crew, from the Stable Crew. Now I've been blessed to talk to some of those people from the Stable Crew because they signed up through the Auto Crypto Investor for the beta test. It's been so great to meet so many people on a global level. For me, it's like when I'm helping someone set up the bot in um, Australia. It's so cool just to talk to him. Like, God, it's almost like we're having dinner together at this restaurant, and I just happened to chat you up or something, right? Or you did me, or same, right? Or you like my crypto hat, and that's how we started talking, or something like that, or Denmark, Austria, Argentina, Canada, even. It's just like it's like, oh my gosh, I know for at least a moment if I was in that country and I needed some help, I literally could probably just at least hit up the one crypto person that I know in that area, be like, hey, Simon Says Crypto. We did a little work here and here. Hey, I'm in your country. I'm looking to go to this. Like, can you
Yeah.
plug me? Like, if I go to Michigan, I'm just like, oh, I need to hit up Melissa and be like, hey, where's the spot to do this? You know what I mean? We're getting it's that type of connections and plugs. Like, dude, if I didn't have crypto, that would have never happened. Nothing.
It's
There's
like
no other industry. None.
I always want to reach out to the Count of Monte Cristo when he
Oh, the count, is he here? Is he in the house?
no, I wish he was. I want to reach out to him and say, come back. Because it was so cool. Where did he say he was?
Italy. He was
Uh
in Italy.
he was in Italy. And because
Yeah.
he had good decisions, and he was out looking at the sunset, I think, and just getting done with planting or something. And I'm like, you know, I mean, we've just run across so many awesome people. One thing that I did want to give, since this is dip a toe, let's talk crypto. For those of you that are dipping a toe and maybe considering going to a conference and meeting up with some people, may I make a suggestion? If you do have a separate phone, like I have a separate phone that I'm using for my stuff. I don't give out my personal, until I know someone and I trust them. Um, so maybe not, maybe don't give them your lifelong email address when you're out there meeting someone for the first time, right? In the crypto space. And that's not just because it's crypto, it's just because you're meeting folks out there that you don't really know. And unfortunately, there are scammers out there. In fact, one of the things I wanted to touch on in this space in this show, I've gotten a couple of different emails regarding phishing attempts that are on the rise. One from Swan, and of course, I'm going to talk about Celsius in a little bit. Um, and I think I saw something on X about it as well. There seems to be a uptick in people trying to get you to click on links and whatnot. And so um, just know that when you are getting these emails to your somebody sending you an email, no one is going to tell you to give them your passphrase or or anything like that. You always want to use good what do I want to say? Good technique, good cybersecurity method to check the link or the address. If somebody or even yeah, I actually got one from my bank too. So I got one from Celsius, I got one from my bank, and I got one from Swan Bitcoin, all talking about phishing attempts and something I got at my work, all talking about so four in the last in this week. Um, so that tells me, it's four different sources and four different areas of my life, all saying there are people out there wanting to fish you. And that just means don't be clicking on links that people send you. Make sure that you know where the email is coming from, verify the address. And if it's a piece of information, search it out yourself. And you can
Right.
generally come to the same link, right? You can
Right.
generally get the
Mhm.
same information. So that's just my little dip a toe.
Dip a toe
Dip-
warning. Good
Dip a toe.
practices to have.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's good. That's that's good of you to let people know about that. That's a reoccurring theme. Do you remember like back in the day when they would do that just with emails, like before
Yeah.
spam was spam, before spam was spam, they would do that like in the late '90s. That was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Man, have we
Crazy.
come a long way, you know?
Sorta. It's they just same hustle, different mask.
The one
You
thing
know.
that I would say, Simon, is when you think back to when, and now you're younger than I am. You're just a baby. You're just a little baby boy.
Yeah, I'm 28 and a half.
Yeah. So I got 6 months on you. But back in the day when you know the different the phone companies involved into, we used to always have to pay for long distance, and then
Yep.
they changed
Yeah, I
over
remember
all of
long distance.
internet comes into play, and there's all of the different battling going on and things. The thing that's so awesome about this space that we have the ultimate advantage, and so those that are not giving this any attention, I feel bad for, because this truly is the your opportunity to give some attention to the future and what's happening with the digital transformation of our world, not just the United States, the world, the changeover of the financial structure, all of the things that are happening now. You have people like us on the Dipito show, but so many others that are trying to share this information. Mr. Man is another example, the Staple Crew,
Absolute fire. Dude, that guy's fire.
fire. And you know what? There are people out there that are using social media as a tool to communicate with others, to try to spark your interest, to instill a fire under your ass to get you to start looking into this stuff. And it's, I mean, right? I mean, I just want to say, like, it's been several years. Some of my friends, they like, I love you, Melissa, but yeah, that's just too much. I'm like, listen, man, that no, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow and you're running out of time, but you kind of are running out of time. And if you look back in history and think about like where they always say, like, if you would have bought Apple stock when it was blah blah blah, like, how much money would you have now? You have that opportunity right now. And not only that, you got a bunch of people that are trying to help you where we didn't have that during that time. Not like we do now.
I did.
Right? I didn't. If somebody would have said, Melissa, buy this throw a couple $1,000s at Apple. If somebody would have told me that, I probably would have listened and I probably would have done it, right? But nobody told me that, and I was still trying to figure out email at the time. You got mail, I was trying to figure out dial-up and not freaking out because my floppy disk drive got disconnected, right? During that time.
Floppy disk. You got the 6, and then they came out with something that was like, I remember when we went floppy disk, and then we came down to the little 3.5 by 3.5 floppy, but it was a hard, right? Everybody's like, whoa, that was like a huge advancement in the tech space, man. When we started having to do the hard disks, I remember that, man.
I this is inappropriate. Like I don't know. It's a story. When I first got, I used, how we used to always have dial-up internet, and I was
Yes.
going to I was going to college at the time, and I had worked so hard on doing my final project, and everything was saved to a floppy disk, and I used to have to go into the university to do my work because I didn't have a computer at home. I mean, like, I had two little kids. It was a tough road. Anyway, my ex-husband, he wanted to give us internet. He wanted to give us Comcast high-speed internet. And it was right during finals when you had to turn in your project and whatnot. And it was like 2 or 3 days before the project was due. He comes and has this sweatpants guy come in and do who smelled like ass, by the way. Came in, he stunk up my whole house for like a day. I couldn't get the smell, and I'm not even just being a nasty. He was nasty. Anyway, he hooked up my high speed internet because he had to put something. He had to take my computer apart, put the slot in to be able to put
Yeah, the port.
the internet. Yeah, he left, and then thinking I'm all happy I could do my homework. I go plug in my floppy disk drive, where all my stuff was saved. It's not found. Well, at the time, I didn't know anything about computers.
Right.
You want to? I had a freaking meltdown. I cried. I lay because I had been working so hard on this final
Right.
project. I laid on the
Right.
floor, just cried. It's due in 2 days. I figured out in that moment of desperation. This is where I say, people, you can do anything. Calm yourself down, figure it out. Somehow, without even the internet, I figured out how to take the thing off my computer and realize that the dude didn't plug in the floppy disk drive back in. And all I had to do was plug it back in and it worked and it was fine. But at the time, they used to say, you can't take off your thing because if you have static electricity, you can wipe your whole computer out. There was all that fear about monkeying around with your stuff. And so we have the same thing in crypto now, right? There's all this fear being spread to
Sure.
get people to not try to learn things for themselves. And had I not taken that risk, I wouldn't have been able to turn in my project. Right. And so if you guys don't take that risk, if you don't start dipping a toe and start educating yourself and asking questions and learning, you could miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime for not even that much money. Really.
Yep. With that, it's I'm still on the other side of that, but that's just who I am. I learn by
Yeah.
doing. I don't, I might read something and I don't immediately go, how can I get screwed? I don't.
Yeah.
I actually typically will never look that route in the beginning. I'll say, okay, cool, I'll try this, and that's when I'm really dipping my toe. Then
Yeah.
I will science the crap out of it as best as I can. If I don't
Yeah.
find anything, then I'll push a little more, and then I'll see what happens. It's almost like
I'm like,
you made your own, like, if you built your own engine, right? Or if you just put your engine back together, your first time doing some car maintenance, right? And like you're like driving your car, right? You just did brakes on your car, and you're like, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna do like a 5 mile an hour stop. Okay, and then you're like, okay, all right, let me try 10. Let me try 10. Okay, cool. And then and then you're like, great. Next day, you got to go to work, dude. You're sissy driving. You're just slow. People are honking. You're throwing pocket change at your car because you're just like, I don't care, dude. I'm not crashing today. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Right? That's what I do. It's just like, oh God, did I do it right? Oh God, did I do it right?
Like,
Finally,
I did it.
yeah, finally, you become comfortable. And after your third time doing your own brakes or something, you're like, no, that's good. Are you sure? Yeah, you're fine. Well, are you? Did you put everything back together? What's that clip? You don't need it, but it was on there before. I'm
Don't need it.
telling you, you don't need the damn clip. It just tells you when your brakes are getting low. Trust me, you'll know. Yeah. Crypto, same way. Go and do learn, watch some videos, but
Yeah.
don't let the fear. And I with anything, don't let that
Yeah.
fear stop you. Go
No.
in there, get your feet wet, and just see how you react to the water. Don't worry about what swims past your feet. Just stay there, be in the moment, and then move
let it-
forward.
and
An event.
Don't let anybody make you feel like you're not smart enough to understand it. That's the thing.
Right.
I mean,
Sure. Well, there's a lot of it. Yeah.
yeah, there's so many folks that are on the mainstream when they talk about the financial and all this stuff. And if you're just kind of glossing over it, they make you feel like you can't possibly understand it. You're not, until we have to protect you from all of this stuff. And so a lot of people are just like, whoa, no, I can't do that. Go ahead and dip a toe.
But
Go
I like
ahead.
water.
Give it, give a little try. I mean, what do you got to lose, really? I mean, don't go crazy. Not financial.
There's probably at least
Yeah.
3 or 4 people in the chat right now. They could go, well, they could lose this because I screwed up, or maybe not on day one. Day one, they didn't lose. I mean, I've lost, but I lost because I didn't fall. I wasn't practicing what I preached there in that moment. It was just in that moment, and that's why I lost. If I would have just, took my time out, followed what I was supposed to do, I'd been fine, but sorry, I just thought of like three people that just went through my head. I saw their faces as you said that. I'm like, there's about 3 or 4 people that would say, well, this happened, but
And one of them.
But just because you lost,
Speaking
what'd you
of
actually
losing,
lose?
well,
Yeah. How
speaking
about
of
your
losing,
cryptos?
I'm going to share. So I don't know. Some of you may have known that I'm one of the folks that. Oh, I was part of the Celsius thing, and let's see if I can make it bigger. I don't know if I can or not.
It seems
That's
like
probably
I'm
as big as
missing
I-
out not having any XRP. Why is XRP expected to go up so much with
we'll talk about that in a
unlimited
minute.
supplies?
So those of you who followed the show, I was somebody that did put my money, some of my coins and money into Celsius, and our friend Farmer John, he sparked me to start looking back into this again because, as some of you might know, there was a big controversy. They claimed bankruptcy, and a lot of us have been in limbo for like 18 months with our money that's been sitting in Celsius and not able to withdraw it or anything. And anyway, I looked it up and my money is still there, which is good. My coins are still there. But it's as of at the end of last month, Celsius to distribute 30 or 3 billion crypto to creditors as firm emerges from bankruptcy. And so what I found out was the over the course of them filing for bankruptcy, I think it was chapter 11, and then they did some like reorganization. They had filed, formed another company. Now, after this is all at the end, they formed a new company called Ionic Digital Inc. Mining Operation, and they are basically the people that were holders in Celsius that had money in Celsius are supposed to get shares or some kind of interest in this new mining company. Which in actually, let's see if I can do that. They start mining. They're going to start mining Bitcoin. It's a company out of Austin, Texas, and it says they're the newest, best in class Bitcoin miner and emerging innovator in energy monetization. They announced the establishment in a deal with Celsius Mining LLC, and the company is acquiring approximately 127,000 Bitcoin mining machines and infrastructure for 87 megawatts of self mining capacity across 4 existing facilities. So they're going to be hosting Bitcoin mining at third party sites, which I'm like, this is pretty freaking awesome. Um,
What?
I had no idea. Because like I said, it wasn't a lot of money that I put in there, but as I started, I was like thinking, I'm going to put my forever bags. Like I'll just tie it up in something like Celsius. People were putting their money there and taking loans against it. I never did any loans or anything. I was just going to custody it and leave it there, and I was earning a little bit of coins off of it, and it was great. And then this all happened, and I was like, well, shit, I lost money, bad mistake. But it wasn't a ton of money. If I had a ton of money, I'd been really upset. But I kind of had forgotten about it until Farmer John, good old Farmer John, uh, he was somebody that was able to get some coins off early on, and now he just got the rest of most of his coins off. Um, and supposedly, if you had money in Celsius, you want to check it, because at the end of this month, both the app and the desktop site's going to go away. And so you want to check the status. And actually, I'll find the Stretto lawsuit that has all of the details about what's going on with this lawsuit, because it kind of gives instructions for people that are the creditors and debitors and whatnot of Celsius. But we're supposed to be getting an email from them that gives us instructions. And for folks that are in the United States, supposedly the coins are going to be distributed through PayPal. And for folks that are outside of the United States, they're going to be going through Coinbase. And so you want to make sure that you log in, you see, and make sure that the email that's attached to your Celsius is still good so that you can get that email. And I guess they give you a year's time to withdraw your coins. So what I want to reiterate to people, or like encourage people, if anyone has money in Celsius, surprise, if you forgot about it like me. I didn't forget about it, but I just wasn't going to stress about it. But I think I'm going to get some money back. I think I'm going to get my coins back. Or if they can't give you your coins back, they're going to give cash back, which whatever, they'll be sending a check. And so you want to go in and you want to verify your account information, make sure your address is correct, your name is correct, your email address, and then you want to make sure that your Coinbase account, I think, has the same email address as your Celsius, because that is the way that they're going to send you, or the PayPal. That's how they're going to send it to you. So if you can get that set up and ready to go. But you want to kind of be on this because, like I said, that website and the app is going to go away at the end of February. And then I don't know what happens from there. Like, I guess you could reach out through Stretto or whatever. But anyway, so I'm pretty excited. And the
That's
other
cool.
thing I want is there is also phishing attempts, because that was another thing. People are trying to scam folks with the Celsius thing, with these phishing emails. So,
Oh yeah.
well, what do you think about them having a Bitcoin mining company in Texas now?
I'd say there goes the difficulty rate.
What do you mean? Elaborate. I don't understand.
Okay. So the more people that try to mine, the harder the Sudoku puzzle is to figure out for the computers. The harder the Sudoku puzzle to figure out for the computers to win the rights to mine the crypto Bitcoin, the more mining computing power you need. So back when all the issue in China, okay, however you want to view it, when the government of China knocked down all those miners in China, the difficulty rate dropped. So so that means that because the difficulty rate dropped, less computing power went to go solve uh, the Sudoku puzzle to win the rights to mine the Bitcoin. That's basically what happens in mining. It's a mathematical equation, and these computers sit there and try to figure it out, and they're just throwing random numbers to see if they get it right. If they do get it right, then that facility in this instance wins the right to confirm all the transactions that just happened over the past 10 minutes in that block of information. Once they do that, they validate it. It gets added to the blockchain, and they are paid, or they receive the reward from newly minted Bitcoins. But the more people there are mining, the more miners, the bigger the puzzle. It's a ratio. It's a ratio thing.
Okay. Oh, all right. The more miners. So you're saying having more miners is not a good thing? It's
I
going to
didn't
create.
say that. I just saying the difficulty rate will increase. It means the mathematical. Okay, so imagine a math problem. Let's start off with this. 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, you can do that. I can do that, right? But a computer doesn't do that. A computer just throws numbers at it till it gets right. So that's only 9 digits, or maybe even two, or there's only single digits and maybe a possible 2, but it'll just throw out combinations of that sum to get it right. They're just guessing. Okay, now, but it gets a little bit more complex. The game of Sudoku, where you have to move everything around to equal 9 on all sides, right? Okay, so that's more what this is. So if you had 2 + 2 + 2 + 2, that would be the new mathematical problem or the difficulty. Now go 2 + 2 + 2 + 2 + 2 + 2. And the more people that are coming, more heads at the table are coming together to solve the equation, then the bigger the puzzle becomes, the harder the puzzle becomes. It'd be like you started out with basic arithmetic, and then you went to multiplication, and then you went to algebra, then you went to geometry, and then you went to calculus, and then beyond that, which I don't know what it is because I am not a mathematician, but you suddenly would have, if you'd imagine, what's that movie with Keanu Reeves? I can't remember, but there's a mathematical equation on chalkboard. Or that movie with Robin Williams and Matt Damon, when Matt Damon was still a baby. There's that mathematical equation. That's what these computers are doing. But the more computers, the more miners, the bigger the chalkboard, the bigger the math problem to win the rights to confirm all the information on the blockchain and like that. It's almost like bingo. Only instead of doing the chevron symbol with your standard board, you have like 20 boards, and the more people that come to play bingo, you got to add 10 more boards to your thing to make your chevron.
So, wow, it kind of does, but actually, I'm really more confused, to be honest with you. So,
the more people, the more miners that come onto the network, the program will compensate for that to keep the ratio of the rate of transactions confirmed on the blockchain to an average of 10 minutes, right? So it likes to stay in that balance zone, but the more that come on, the puzzle gets harder. So now you have to spend more.
Does that make it take more time, or you're saying it makes it harder so that it is within? Okay, hold on a second. Is it okay? Because it's making it harder, is this part of the code that's making it fair so that the more
Yes.
people that come on, the
Yes.
harder it is, so that the more people have a chance to solve the puzzle. Because
Yes.
otherwise, if it was still easy, then
Yeah.
it'd be
Then if
somebody.
it was still easy, then the person with
"Ugh."
127,000 miners versus the little old dude that's got 2 in his garage.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. But
So
now here's my question. So you want it to be more, because you want it to be more complex, right? You want it to be more distributed. The more that there are, the more distributed it is, correct?
well,
And well, yeah,
distributive's arguable. If everybody
yeah,
had a miner in this world, then yes, I would say it's distributed. But he
yeah,
who has the most miners, more than
wins.
likely, is going to
More
wins.
than likely.
It's
Yeah.
computing power, right? So
Well,
the more miners you have, the easier you can solve. Now these, like, so in Texas, all these
yeah.
fools could have an agreement with each other. They could connect as one and go that way. They could do a pool. It's very
Listen,
simple. You know,
this is
What?
something that I have been wondering about.
shit.
You know, I believe in Bitcoin and everything. Okay. However, I do have questions when it comes to this, and I do notice things. I notice a lot of things, and I notice Texas. A lot of stuff happens in Texas, and I know Texas is the oil capital. They got a lot of oil. They're all about the energy. Okay. And I also notice Texas Blockchain Council, they're fighting for legislation. They're in it to win it, and they're creating these things, which is a good thing. And I know that they're also trying to use their flared gas and all of the wonderful things that they're doing when it comes to electricity and Bitcoin, which I think is freaking fantastic. Okay. But I also
Mhm.
see big oil money coming in, swooping in, because it behooves them to do so when it comes
Yeah.
to energy, right? And so when I think about what we were just talking about, being decentralized, and the miners and all of this kind of stuff, I mean, it is a real probability that you're going to have these areas where there's going to be a bunch of miners, and you just said that they can join forces, right?
They could, they could in theory. Okay, like if you have, there's mining pools.
Yeah.
There's mining pools. There's, like, I could hook up my miner, run the protocol through, and we could have 1,000,000 miners all together pulling from everybody's houses. They could literally do the same thing. They
Yeah.
could start their own mining pool and connect. And that's how they would, technically win the rights. What we have to understand here is, money loves money. Industry loves industry. That's where they're going to go. Big money's in. Everybody wants big money in. Big money's in. Oil is in. Industry is in. Don't think for 1 second that it's like, oh, this is for us. It's like, no. Mining's not for us. Mining was for us. It has transferred because everybody else caught on, and now they have the money and the means to do it. That's what, being wealthy is. Let's go a step further though. Let's go just one step further with you got Texas. They got the oil. Has their oil production ramped up lately? It's possible. Looks like Texas is bringing it all for a long time. They've been bringing them all in. Come on, you Bitcoin miners. Well, we love you. God, well, come on, get in here. Right? Bring it on in.
Come to
Right,
mama.
come to mom. Come on in. Because they've been about tech for a while, but they have the oil, so they have the energy. They have the resource to have the energy to continue the mining. Now I'm gonna go a little politic. A little politic. It's perfect for the new system. The new I'm going to say alleged because I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything that says quantum financial system
Tell
from
me.
the upper echelons. Okay. But now you can break away. You can break away from the contract that you had that's destroying you. Break away and be your own sovereign. Real sovereign. Not under contract with the rule of an agreement and such and such. You become a sovereign, actual nation, and
Texas being
they can join the big leagues. I know I'm going a little off topic on the crypto, but why was Governor Abbott in India? What, he just randomly decided to take his wheelchair, go over and have a party? Come on, man.
yeah, that's very
Let's
interesting.
make a deal. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. Yes. Over there to
Can I
do
ask you a
business.
question? Can I ask you a question? Because I'm having
In
it.
my, that's what I thought. That's in my
I'm
opinion.
having
That's
a
it makes
eureka
sense.
moment. Okay, so this is where I get all confused about this space when it comes to Bitcoin. All right, so you just help me. You just no, but you just help me understand something. Because okay, so we're acknowledging that the mining is probably going to be taken over by the oil industry. I mean,
I would say oil, energy.
okay, energy, but it's oil,
look at
whatever.
yes, look at El
Right.
Salvador. They got the volcano in the backyard. Energy.
Yes, energy, and so when I think about it, in the opportunity for all the countries to be sovereign and have their own Bitcoin mining operations, right?
They'll have to.
Right, they're going to have to, and I think a lot of them are starting up to do that. Okay, and so they're going to be able to have their own. So it's going to be anchored everywhere across the world. Bitcoin mining operations, which is then also facilitating or inspiring other forms of energy to use energy responsibly or wisely. Like try how can we be carbon the whole carbon neutral thing and all of that stuff that are the talking points that I think that we're supposed to stop Bitcoin is actually going to come back and bite them in the ass because I think that yes, I would love you to, because do you think I'm right? I think there's so many innovative ideas and things that people are that are trying where they're actually going to be carbon neutral or giving back in the ways that they're trying to do this. And then if you put big oil or big energy money behind it, thy will be done, in my opinion. What do you think? Am I off?
I mean, yeah,
If I am,
energy innovation is already there. Okay, oil, this old technology is still there. It's been argued that there's an abundance of oil.
yes.
Okay, so there is there's been the pollution factor for a while. Okay, but energy is energy. Anytime you create, you destroy. Straight up, that's how it is. You can't have one without the other, right? You can evolve things. You can evolve. Oh, what happened? I'm trying to go to Twitter, man. I was gonna try to see if I could quickly scroll because I remember staying up late last night. I saw this Twitter thing. I can't remember what the dude's name was, but he's a lieutenant from Space Force, and he was doing a speech or some type of event, and he was talking.
Is it Stephen?
I don't remember, man. I don't know. I don't remember, but he was talking about how the technology can be made and is made to be able to pull energy literally from space or free Wi-Fi. It's like it's there. It's very, very possible with what we have today, right? So this whole oil poo-poo thing, right? And I'm not trying to take away from the solid evidence that hey, this isn't so good, but now we've wised up on a few things going, dude, there's loss of energy here. Loss of energy means loss of profits. Loss of profits means loss of profits. It's not good for us, right? And so, innovations are really catching up to it. So like when you see big oil coming in, it's like, dude, they're gonna fine tune everything. And it's gonna be amazing. And not just us. Is that it?
Well, this is the guy.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah. He was all suited up. He was all in a nice suit and everything. Man, I really wish I had it. I could find his speech.
I'll find it.
Who is it?
Stephen Kwast. Kwast. And I will tell you this: he's a retired U.S. Air Force lieutenant. He gave a speech several years ago. I found it at Hillsdale University, and he was talking about the advancements in technology and how our government is talking to each other like they never have before. And then I too saw that video that you just referenced about Stephen. Yeah, we'll link him. I'll try to find it as you as you talk, maybe I can find it because I
So-
did. I also came across that video you're talking about.
So when I hear like the energy, Alan talked about this. He touched on it in his live, I think, on Sunday over there at the Stable Crew, and it was this whole environmental thing right now. It's the repoo-poo. Bitcoin takes too much energy. It's like you're saying that because you're trying to
Yeah.
slow it down and you're trying to get a foot in the game.
Yes.
Straight up, that's what it is. Just call a spade a spade. You know, you can have all your evidence. You have, oh, we're doing it for this. Well, where were you on this? I'm not going political. I'm just calling a spade a spade. If you're all of a sudden saying this now up in arms, if Bitcoin wasn't a factor, where would you be? Nowhere, because Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, whoo, left field, curveball. You tried to even swing at that. And you didn't know you were swinging at, and now you're trying to play catch up by any means necessary, and that's kind of what's going on. So when I look at a state like Texas, who through my whole upbringing as a kid to where I'm at today, Texas has always been Texas, right? The one state that could literally walk away from the union, right? All the rest of us to a certain degree, well, we took a bad deal, so to speak, and and I'm not trying to do United States history here, but I look at where they're at right now. They literally have all the right top shelf things in place. You just mentioned the Texas Bitcoin mining council, or the mining council, right? Which Christine's a part of on that as well. And so it's like, okay, so you have this council, one state that's very much out there, right? And they're saying, come on, Bitcoin miners, come on in, right? And they're ramping up their oil. Let's go quantum financial system here, asset-backed commodities. We know that's in play. It's already happening, 110%. You can look at the bricks and go, no. And it's like, dude, stop that. They are going asset-backed. There's been 8 banks recently, saw an article that said 8 banks have banned U.S. payments or payments in U.S. dollars, not U.S. payments, but payments in U.S. dollars. Okay, dude, that is happening. It's happening right before your eyes. Please don't be naive and say that it's not. It legit is. And here you have a state that literally has the making for asset backed. If they want to, they could fight and walk away and would be okay because of what they hold in their backyard. And take a lesson from Texas. Take a lesson from Wyoming too. Dude, they see it. Just embrace it. Stop poo-pooing it. And if for all you new people out there that are kind of listening to my rant right now, it's legit. This is a thing. You can be diehard XRP fan. On the XRP side that there's been massive amounts of documents at the international level that have literally stated from these institutions and sovereign states, sovereign countries, that they're literally saying, we're bringing on a new online payment system. We're bringing on, Iraq is one of those countries recently that's been talking about this, and they're going full digital. Even there's an article the other day that said something about the XRP. XRP was going to be used here in the U.S. as payments, and I don't know if it's XRP or if it was the Ledger.
I'm going to post. I'm going to share that too, because that's something I shared yesterday.
Oh, perfect. I saw that article and I was like, whoa.
I heard a lot of people arguing about stuff, but a lot of the stuff that had been held back in the United States or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
They had some presentation today. But before we go there, I did find.
Sorry.
Oh, do you want me to share it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. So the post that I found, this technology can be built today to deliver any human being from any place on planet Earth to any other place in less than an hour. And then, so this person's been seeing the Lieutenant Stephen Quatts, which I have too. For many years now, I've followed him. making the rounds, and he reported back in October. He does make bold claims, I will say that. But anyway, let's listen
That's it
to
right there.
what he said.
Transportation, information, and manufacturing. These are the things that change humanity, that will change world power, and they are descending upon us in ways that are very unique. The technology is on the engineering benches today, but most Americans and most in Congress have not had time to really look deeply at what's going on here. But I've had the benefit of 33 years of studying and becoming friends with these engineers and these scientists. This technology can be built today with technology that is not developmental to deliver any human being from any place on planet Earth to any other place in less than an hour, to deliver Wi-Fi from space where you never need a cell tower to connect, to deliver energy from space where you never have to plug your phone in and it trickle charges and you can use that energy over time. It can be applied to cars, to houses. The technology of Edison and Tesla that we live with in our energy environment, our paradigm today, is expensive, it's dangerous, and it's wasteful. Plug it into the wall, but yet that's what we all do because we are used to paradigms. The power of space will change world power forever. And it doesn't have to be a big country to do it. It can be a small island country, let's say New Zealand. Because the technology, if optimized, can change world power, and there's nothing you can do if you don't have that power. The nature of power. You either have it and your values rule, or you do not have it and you must submit. We see that play out again and again in history, and it's playing out now. But we get trapped.
I'll tell you what, that is the same interview that I found several years ago. I'm going to find the full interview for you guys and I will post it because it is absolute fire. He talks about so many different things in this interview. It's so well worth your time to listen to his speech. And ironically, Hillsdale College is in Michigan. So I have followed Hillsdale College for years and years. And
it's just
incredible.
things like that where it's like we're stuck on drilled in topics that honestly don't have any type of clout that they used to back in the day. It's all, in my opinion, it's mostly poo-poo. Stop getting in the way. Stop talking about the speed bump that we hit like 20, 30, 40 years ago. This take your shoes off, get the pebble out, and put your shoes back on, and let's keep rolling.
They have held back so much innovation from the people for years and years. I mean, like he said, this stuff has been developed for a long time, right? But now here's the thing. This is why I get so excited about this space, and I know it's going to take time. I mean, this didn't get this way overnight, and it's not going to be undone overnight. Okay, there's a lot of factors that have to come into play with dismantling the old and bringing in the new. But the fact with like what we were talking about Bitcoin and the mining facilities, and initially, because I don't know everything, I'm just learning about these things, and I think, oh geez, well, the bigger these mining facilities, the little guy's not going to be able to mine Bitcoin, and then that's a bad thing. But actually, if you think about it, the countries around the world that are putting up these mining facilities all over, they got skin in the game, and they're anchoring the network. They're anchoring the decentralization of it. And then you look at us, where we just approved the spot Bitcoin ETF. And I think Fidelity now is like 1% of whatever. I mean, there's the BlackRocks and whatnot. They own a considerable amount already from the spot Bitcoin ETF. And like I thought before about like our existing 401ks and all of that stuff, kind of baby stepping it over into a more solid asset like Bitcoin that is scarce, right? And getting us away from this fiat pretend money that we've got all of our stuff rolling up into. What's happening right now is so freaking big. Like, it's hard to wrap your mind around it because it's not just one thing that's changing, it's freaking everything. Everything
Yeah.
is changing and it's
And
happening.
it is
And
going to be like that.
I mean, but don't you think, like, even though we're coming through, like, it's crazy times and all of this kind of stuff, I have to say, I think they're doing a fairly good job with this. Whoever is trying to orchestrate it, or whoever's in charge of the battling, or whatever the hell is really going on, it could be a lot worse than what's happening right now. And I'm not saying what's happening right now is not bad, because it is bad, but the excitement of what's happening and knowing that you have to dismantle something and kind of bridge it, to get us over to the other side in a carefully orchestrated way, I think it's kind of being handled well. I think our job is to give it attention and make sure that these people don't get away with murder when they're formulating these new regulations and the new systems and whatever. We need to give attention, right? I don't know how did I say that
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah, no, you're right. I was just about to
I
say,
was gonna
well,
swear.
then don't go buy your. Then I'd implore you to not buy the Bitcoin ETF, the Bitcoin or the Ethereum ETF, or the XRP ETF, or the Litecoin ETF. Go get the real thing.
Yes, because
Otherwise,
you
you
out.
stay in the illusion. You stay in the
Yeah,
fake world. You stay with your
yes,
fake money, and your it's all illusion at lost, and they gain. You
yeah.
literally have the chance
Right
because
now, you
these people were late to the party. These entities, most of these entities were late to the party. Their advantages, they have fast cars, right? But you
yeah,
showed up an hour and a half early, like you used to back in the days when you want to go see that movie you'd want to go see. You'd be there before like the next an hour and a half before the next movie started. And you'd be waiting in line, like
yeah,
halfway through the movie that you wanted to see was on. Like you'd be there, popcorn, go get a refill, all that, right? So that's what's going on right now is most of us are now at this table
yeah.
and they're trying to sit down. Now they're going to push and shove because they have to. They had their moment of like, oh, it's okay, sit there just for a moment. I don't want to sit down yet, but when I do, please stand up. I'll give you an extra 5 just to move over there, right? That was kind of the first thing. Now they're doing everything they can to bully and push and bully, right? Because these people that are used to being in the limelight or in charge are actually getting pushed out of the way too, because that system is not going to be utilized as much as it once was, and so now it's the grab. It's to slow them down. Anything to slow them down. Anything to slow this down because we're not ready for this. You know, there's gonna there are
Yeah.
countries that are going to be left behind or almost were about to be left
Oh,
behind,
yeah.
you know, and USA is definitely one of those countries, you know,
No, I think we're gonna be.
on a big picture. What's up?
I think we're kind of sneaking in, though. I think we're. I actually think we're front. I think
I
we're
don't think
fronting it.
I don't think we're fronting it because I think we're there. We're just not there like we could be because of the slowdown, the intentional trip up, the intentional slowdown, as opposed to just go, yeah, run with that ball. That looks
I
great. Keep running with it.
I
You
think
know,
it is because, well, see, and this is where my conspiratorial, fantastical mind comes in, where
yeah.
I think that the good guys are winning. In my mind, I think that we're paying um for some of our sins. When I say for the rest of the world, because the US dollar has been weaponized
Uh,
for so
yes,
long
and
against other countries.
I don't disagree with that.
And also, if you look at, I posted a graphic the other day that showed the GDP of the world, like the different world, like different countries, and how large the United States GDP is compared to some of these other countries. And so it really put things into perspective for me when I'm thinking about all these innovations that are happening in other countries. And we talk about, this country is doing this and they're so much farther ahead than we are, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, that's all great. It is. And I'm happy for them because I think it's wonderful that they're doing all the things that they're doing. Not only are they cementing themselves in history with this by being courageous and forward thinking and developing new ways of doing things, and being courageous to step away from the United States dollar when it comes to trade, and all of this stuff that they're doing is very courageous. They're also being used, or they're testing, because they're on such a smaller scale than the United States when it comes to GDP and the amount of money that's moved and all of that stuff. So I see a lot of these countries as like they're piloting things. They're going for it. Some of them don't even have they don't have the well-established banking systems that we do, right? And so for them to implement a
Yeah.
new system, they're like, you know what? We don't want your system. We're going to go to this system, and I'm going to exchange my currency for another currency, and I'm going to do trade with this guy. And I don't have to
Yeah.
pay you a US dollar for my oil anymore. I'm going to pay you
Right.
in whatever, right? This is all the cool stuff that I think is happening right now, that a lot of people, most people that are not paying attention, that they have no idea of the things that are happening. So I'm just like super excited about what's happening. And I think, the United States, we are held back by our own regulations, but for some reason, I just think, the United States dollar being the global currency of the world, the reserve currency of the world, if you knew that your time was up, would you just silently go away and think that maybe the Chinese yuan, is it the yuan or the yen, or Russia or the UK dollar would become the new reserve currency? Or would you try to establish something that wouldn't be as harmful to your US dollar? Maybe like Ripple, the company is that created a neutral asset that can be exchanged for anything. I personally think that that is kind of where what's going to happen, is that we're going to still have United States dollar. All these countries are still going to have their currencies, and something like
Yes. Well,
XRP or other currencies. Yeah,
yeah,
it's going
everybody
to
have
be.
that, and the intermediary will be XRP, right? That'll be the new reserve currency, right? And
Or the
and the
technology that wants to swap currency for currency. Maybe it isn't even XRP, right?
right, and that's good globally. The where I have like where I think what we're kind of hinting is like where we go. This is good for the world, um, but but we got left out of the party intentionally. See,
Yes.
well,
But
like
did we
okay,
though?
rip, yes. With all what I mean by that is if you stifle me, if you purposely trip me up, you are breaking the pursuit of happiness rule in our constitution. Right? It's constitution. That could be the other one, but it's in there in the pursuit of happiness. I know it's in there because
Declaration of
it
Independence.
was like in high school. I like hopped all over that stuff and I felt really cool. But that's it. That's stifling. You're literally getting in the way of the pursuit of happiness when an entity goes after a company that literally adopted this invention, took ownership of it, and not only wanted to give it to the world, but wanted to start right here. You make it hard as hell for them to even do it, and they did like this. Deuce, bro.
But
and
so
and now everybody else is in that party. But like, come on over here. You know, it's that where I have the problem. So when I say America, I'm literally talking about the officialdom, right? The regulators that stifle that stuff for their own system.
But if you look at the way that our country is, the way that we do shit around here,
At
okay,
what level?
all the bullshit that has all of the rules and regulations, the SEC and all this kind of stuff. I think from what I can see, and again, I don't know everything. I've just been following this stuff for a couple of years, and this is just my opinion, and people might disagree with me, and I'm okay with that. But I see Ripple and all of the pack that were, sued over this stuff. They actually took one for the whole crypto space in general. Okay. They're establishing a precedence. They had the money to fight a lawsuit. All right. If they weren't the ones to be sued and be stifled and stopped, a smaller company, a smaller startup company that had a good idea that was going to do something and got the same treatment from the SEC, they would have been shut down real freaking quick because of lack of funds. Okay.
I don't disagree with that, but the fact that they got in a lawsuit to begin with is absolute utter stifling. That's what I'm talking about.
I agree with you. However,
That's the only thing I'm talking about there.
It's beat them at their own game, because see, this is what I think. I think that we are winning, and I do think that it's a good versus evil, and I do think the good guys are winning, and there's this is just my fantastical mind, and this is how I like to have an outlook on things. I think that we're winning, and I think that Ripple, because they did have the money and they did allow themselves to not be stopped by the SEC and these lawsuits, and they went to the other countries and they continued to do business, and they lifted up these other businesses in these other countries, right? They never stopped doing what they were doing the whole time the United States did what they did. And so maybe I don't know if Ripple thinks this or not, but in my mind, I think, all right, you're not going to stop me. You might stop me here, but I'm going to go over here. And if you guys keep screwing around and find out, I'm going to stay over there. Right?
That's my point.
Yes.
That's my point.
But also, if you look at how unfair the balance has been in the world, with the United States being the world reserve currency, and our bullying tactics and things. And I don't want to get political when it comes to wars and all this crap, all the BS that has happened. Our people have been used as tools, right?
Sure.
Unwilling for whatever. That's like a whole nother thing. But this is our way. Whether we're doing it willingly or not, it is allowing other countries to come up to a level playing field, in theory, hopefully, that by the time that things are ready to roll, these other countries, if they've been using their time wisely and their resources wisely and their opportunity wisely, and they have had the courage to band together with one another, like what I see the BRICS nations doing, then they will no longer be under the thumb of these bigger institutions like they have been, right? The IMF and the BIS.
110%, and that's like 100% like good, like that's like absolutely perfect. That's like super good.
And then there's
go
MAUD.
there.
And then there's MAUD.
There's what?
And then there's MAUD. You don't know that show?
No.
Oh,
I've been
geez,
out of
you're-
I've been out of the
Somebody
TV
look at it.
loop for a while.
Somebody look at it. There was
um,
MAUD.
For cryptocurrency as a whole, that was great that the rest of the world opened arms to it because of the current reserve currency and the people that manipulated that to use it for power. Okay. So that's good. But right now I'm literally just focused on my backyard because of that, we get to pay penance for that.
Yes,
Right?
unfortunately,
We
do.
we do. They effing don't. They don't.
The bad
we
guys,
do.
you're saying? Yeah, I get you.
I'm saying collective. I'm saying collectively, just on a financial sense. Ripple in a roundabout way, in my opinion, Ripple left America.
Yeah.
It started in Frisco. They left America. They said, we're going somewhere else that will allow us to grow like we wanted to with our dream. So in my mind, my opinion, the government got involved and blocked their pursuit of happiness. That's a big no-no in our country. But no one's jerking their covers and making them pay penance. You did this. And no, you don't get to just pay a fine to whoever and all that crap. I'm sorry, handcuffs, you're in jail. You screwed all of us because of that. You literally could have gone a different way with it. A multitude of different ways of where you could have been working hand in hand. Look where the exchange Coinbase is at.
Who are you?
Who are you? Comply the whole way.
Who are you talking about?
What?
Who are you talking about that should be in jail?
I'm talking about Warren. Get the hell out of the way. Securities Exchange Commission. You don't do a damn thing for the actual people. You are a corporate entity doing corporate things for corporate codes for corporate America. The problem with that is it really, really always literally screws us, the backbone of this country.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
sorry,
think that
my caffeine just kicked in, everybody. I apologize.
I feel you. I do feel you. I feel you strongly about that. And unfortunately, I think that thankfully we are strong. We are strong to withstand some of this stuff. Like a country in a worse condition than the United States would have been devastated by now. Okay. And so
they have been.
I think they have
Multiple
right.
times. Like,
Yeah. I mean, our time, there's some rude awakenings coming for a lot of people. Because people, I don't know, I think they live in a fantasy land of, and I mean, we all have, right? I mean,
Yes.
I didn't really realize what a perpetrator we were, honestly, and I feel terrible about it. And I feel terrible for anybody that was forced to be a perpetrator or unknowingly was a perpetrator or whatever against other countries. But I have hope and faith that we're moving in the right direction, and it might take a little bit of time. But if we all work together and we stay in a positive flow, I think the outcome of this is going to be magnificent. If we allow it to be magnificent, if we allow them to screw us over, then this is our shot, man.
Right
where we always
we're doing it right now.
where we've always
We're doing it right
complained.
now.
They sold us down the river, all of our parents and whatever. No, this is our time now. If we don't do something to share information, we're just as bad as the rest of them in the past of allowing this shit to happen. Mr. Man, friend.
Wow, what evening, brother? What's good? You just missed me on my soapbox, dude.
I want to share.
But
I do want to share.
like.
Oh,
okay.
Go. Oh, keep going. Are you sure?
Yeah,
I just wanted to share the Ripple payments thing.
Yeah, go for it.
The U.S. News, the Ripple payments that are set to announce the new product updates
Mhm.
powered by their money transmitter licenses, the MTLs that cover a majority of the United States states. And they hosted an event today, apparently, in San Francisco, that we're going to talk about the blockchain and payments outlook. Anyway, I have an article from February 4th where they prepared to expand the payments and business in the United States. And this is where you and I were just talking. Right now, 90% of the blockchain company's business is based outside the United States. So,
Mhm.
and so after being relatively quiet in the United States for the past 3 years, in the US, Ripple Payments are gearing up to announce new products, updates powered by our money transmitter licenses that cover majority of the United States. So I guess what I'm saying, the newly enhanced Ripple Payments, formerly known as RippleNet, lets business leverage the blockchain easily for quicker, cheaper, and more efficient cross-border payments. So,
Wait, can you go back to that?
yeah, I can.
Can
Um,
you?
I I will do it.
Thank you. Sorry.
I got really excited when I saw this. Um, I wish I could make it bigger for you guys.
You can go here. I can do it for you. Watch this. Meow, Bing.
Oh, thanks.
And then you can hit your what is it? Control plus button.
Okay. Um, so what part was
Well,
you want to
there was
your
well, so what I want to draw the attention to is the newly enhanced Ripple Payments, formerly known as RippleNet, lets businesses leverage the blockchain easier for quicker, cheaper, and more efficient cross-border payments. So
Yep.
what I want to look at right there is the cross-border payments. Now that right there can mean a multitude of different things. When I think cross-border payments, I am literally thinking two things. One, here in the U.S., state to state, and then globally, nation to nation.
yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, still, are we going to see this per se at the Main Street level? And I would still think that we would at least be able to see some of that at the mainstream level. But again, RippleNet being an international system for all, so to speak, and XRP, for those holders can provide liquidity to that system. I'm just wondering how that same model per se is going to come into play here in nationally or at any nation. Because there's XLM that allegedly is somehow doing some localized payments, not here in the US, but in other countries. And so, in addition to the solution is also being rolled out to a wider customer base, including small to medium sized businesses, as Ripple has secured more than 30 licenses across the United States. So that answers the state to state question that I just had, right? The cross borders. I mean, that makes perfect sense. I'm just curious about the localized payment, right? So when I'm still envisioning a world where I will do my payments and I won't know it in the background, but I'll be using XLM or XRP or a combination of those types of summer technologies and systems incumbent with each other. That's what I'm still looking to see. Where El Salvador says, "Hey, we got the Bitcoin and we got the Lightning Network, and this is how you can pay each other in real time." Right here. I'm not saying we can't do that now. I know I could. I know, Melissa, you could hold a QR code up on the screen and I go beep beep paid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. I'm always looking for stuff like that in the U.S., but it's like,
It's coming.
I guess
No,
my problem is
it's here.
my
It's
problem
here.
is just it's always at the top that just seems to muck it up for everybody else. I don't disagree that in situations like Celsius, right? Where were they on that? Like, to me, that should have been something that they should have spearheaded first or would have been on their radar, right? Or something like FTX. Where were you guys on that one? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you're supposed to be the for the
I
people
think
police.
games. I think
You
they're
know, I
playing.
mean, you know, so
games.
so for you know, I don't know what they do all day. You know, I'm just seeing what I see out in always truthful mainstream media. You know, or even on social media, always factual, right? You know, it's all that it's all that stuff. Ripple's expansion into the U.S., including the potential introduction of XRP. Yeah, ETF. I just talked about that, right? Hey, Mr. Man, would
We
you
love you.
rather? Would you rather, my man? Would you rather hold XRP or would you rather have an ETF? I know what he's gonna say. I know. What
Is
he's
that
gonna
a
say.
trick question?
He's
No.
like,
Well,
Simon, quit playing web games, bro. Quit playing web games. By the way, yeah, check out Mr. Man. Dude's on fire all the time. Melissa, did you see his video? His short video? He caught someone out on the street that's got the new. It's the Google Vision or something. It's like the ski goggles where you can do all your computer
Yeah.
stuff. Like he straight up caught to hold it long term, my man. Yep. See, Mr. Man will be providing XRP liquidity. I know he will. Dude, that stuff was hilarious. This dude's crossing the street. He's got the goggles on and everything, and he stops like 3/4 of the way after walking across the crosswalk, right there in that lane where somebody could just run him over. And he's like, "Oh, stop! Let me do this. Put that there. Okay, cool. Continue on with my walk." It was hilarious, dude.
as soon as I saw that video, I thought instantly of the students that are walking, because that's pretty much what they do around here. So if you don't pay attention when you're driving, they'll walk right in front of you. They're not paying attention at all. And so seeing the guy with this, I'm trying to find it right now. Oh, this is something I gotta share this.
Share this.
I did watch the Janet Yellen conference or hearing today.
No.
That was it was crazy.
How many baseball bats did you take to your wall?
Pass legislation
geez.
to provide for
Let me
the
start.
and Congress should pass legislation to provide for the regulation of stable coins.
Watch the dude. Okay. I always say that they place people behind, and people are going to get on me because obviously the person behind her is missing an arm and he has a very small hand. So there's some
Right.
kind of disability there. However,
Sure.
whenever I watch these hearings, I see people doing weird shit with their hands, weird shit with their pens. They're doing signs.
Here we go. Here we go. We're going off the rails, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
And I thought this was fake when I saw it, and then I watched the real thing, and I'm like, no, he's legit was doing it. But it's just weird. I don't know what it means, but anyway, here we go.
And Congress should pass legislation to provide for the regulation of stable coins and of the spot market for crypto assets that are not securities. We look forward to continuing to engage with Congress on this. With this overview, I look forward to taking your questions on these. And Congress should pass
Okay,
legislation
all right.
to provide for the
This is not the clip. The dude moves his tie. He touches his tie several times. He moves his tie.
Pink tie, or the other guy?
The pink
Oh,
tie.
okay.
But
I mean,
then also
pink guy, not pink eye. Sorry.
I posted the link to the full thing on my my Twitter feed, on my X feed. Anyway, I got a kick out of it when I saw it, and I'm like, somebody is signaling something during this Janet Yellen speech, because it just something's not right about it. But I thought it was pretty funny. I thought that was the
They didn't
clip.
like- You know what I want to see? I want to see like one of these events, right? Like this. Like, check this out. Okay, so let's say we're in Congress. There's all these people behind, just like Janet Yellen right there. What I want to see is like someone like take their drink and take a sip of their drink, and on the bottom it says like buy XRP or something. Just
No,
just like that, nonchalant.
No, they did that during one of the hearings.
Shut up, did they? Make my
Yes.
evening. Tell
I
me
got-
where.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to look back through all my
It's all good. I
shenanigans.
don't want you to waste your time with it. Yeah,
But
by the weekend, by the time we hook up for the auto crypto investor, I want to know it. That's cool.
I'm looking real quick to still see if I found Mr. Man's video real quick, but he posts a lot.
I
So
told
I
you the
might have
man's fire, dude.
he is totally fire.
Dude,
He's totally
fire, man. He comes up quick with all the fresh gems on different on different videos, man. Like seriously, between the Staple Crew and Mr. Man, currently
thank you.
I don't go too far. Like I literally just get that, and Mr. Man's knowledge and perspective of his roadmap that he has, man. Like he's literally saying, oh, this goes into this part, oh, this goes into this part, and this goes to this part. It's amazing what he does. It's absolutely amazing.
I missed him. I don't know if he's still listening, but I also follow T's Crypto Spot. Very smart,
Yep.
very smart
Yeah.
guy.
Mhm.
And I noticed that he was speaking in one of T's X Spaces the other day, or today maybe even it was, and but it was recorded, so I'm going to try to go back and catch what his comments were. But yeah, there's so many good people in this space to listen to,
There
guys.
is.
Don't get caught up with the hype people or people that are selling you stuff. And I mean, I don't know. You're adults. You navigate, right? Just don't get bamboozled if you can try to stay away from the people that are really pressuring you. Anytime you start to feel uncomfortable or anxious and when you're listening to someone, let that be a sign to you that
Yeah.
maybe you need to step back and
No,
dip
absolutely.
cool and kind of listen to some other folks and see what's up with them, you know.
Especially when Simon starts talking about government entities and stifling the little man and the little woman. Yeah, it's just it's just frustrating, But like, Melissa, you're absolutely correct. Of how because of that, okay, just let's just take the ripple effect, literally, right? Because of the literally getting beat up at home in its own way didn't stop them from going somewhere else, which I think is great. But the rest of the world has already adopted crypto, full fledged. For us to get to that level of adoption, uh, you know, we'll get there properly if we get rid of a few parts of the old system that just need to go. What's this?
Yeah.
I have 1 year. I have 1 year left to accomplish 2029. I have updated the map with many more events taking place. Holy crap. We got to do a map update, dude. Let's go.
We love you, Mr.
Have
Man.
you, Mr. Man, have you done a video on your update? I mean, I know I'm milking the cow here with 2 minutes left.
I'm at 9:00.
It's almost. I got 1 hour and 58 minutes and 48 seconds. 49, 50,
Really?
51, 52.
Well, we do appreciate everyone joining us here on Dipito, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming and joining the conversation and participating. Thank you so much, Simon. I love talking with you on Wednesdays.
I love talking with you too, Melissa. We go down deep, and we love you and I see each other's different points of view, even if we appears like we don't agree.
Right.
It's not that. It's I have a pain point, she might have a pain point. I have a pleasure point, she has a pleasure point, and then usually we just come back together and go, it's magical. It's all magical, right?
The way it should be, right?
Yeah.
Agree?
That's the way it should be. Not
can
yet.
disagree.
Once it's complete. Love this show. Thanks for the love, Mr. Man. That's awesome.
All right, guys. What do you say, Simon?
Okay.
We love
I think we should say peace and chicken grease and keep buying that crypto. And it's about the real thing. So go out there and get you the real thing. Whatever your crypto is, Bitcoin, XRP, XLM, Algorand, Quant, whatever. Just go and get you some and have a good time with it.
Yeah. We love you. Hit us up, share and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk soon. Next win. Bye.